subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell. It's easy, fast, and helps us produce new content. Rodrigo Dantas couldn't wait to get home to Anna, his beloved wife of 10 years. She was not only a beautiful woman who kept herself in fantastic shape, but also a phenomenal cook and the best lover a man could ever wish for. The day before, Anna had mentioned she wanted to invite her new boss, Mr. Carvalho, over for dinner. According to her, he wanted to meet her husband and get a feel for their family life. Rodrigo saw no problem with it, saying he'd be glad to meet his wife's new boss, especially since the last two people in that position hadn't lasted very long and had left under mysterious circumstances. The most recent one had resigned after just a few months, claiming he needed a long period of creative rest in Florianopolis to find himself. The one before him had been found decapitated in his garage, his hands tied behind his back. The police had ruled it a suicide, but his surgically removed reproductive system was never found. Rodrigo checked the time and sent a quick message to his wife before closing up his office, letting her know he was on his way. The reply was immediate. "See you soon. I love you." Rodrigo said goodnight to his secretary and headed home, stopping only to buy a bouquet of roses for Anna. He loved giving her little surprises, and she adored the sweet displays of affection. As he pulled into his driveway, Rodrigo noticed a black Mercedes parked on the street out front. "At least this one had the decency not to block my driveway," he thought. Walking inside, he saw a well-dressed man in his 40s sitting on the sofa. Rodrigo sized him up. He was tall and fit, with touches of silver at his temples, clean-shaven, with a constant smile playing on his lips. The man stood up and smiled as Rodrigo entered the living room, extending a hand. Rodrigo shook it before excusing himself and heading to the kitchen to give Anna the bouquet, wrapping her in a warm embrace. Anna's face lit up when she saw the flowers. "I'll have to thank you properly for these later," she whispered. Rodrigo kissed her cheek and ran a hand over her hip. "Now, be a good hostess and go greet Mr. Carvalho," she said. He kissed her again and returned to the living room. Anna followed him to the bar and offered Mr. Carvalho a glass of whiskey, which he accepted. After Rodrigo poured their drinks, they both sat down. "You have one hell of a wife," Mr. Carvalho commented with a wide grin. "I have to agree," Rodrigo said. "She's the meaning of my life, which is why you'll understand what I'm about to tell you I'm going to do," Mr. Carvalho said, his smile never wavering. "Oh, really? And what is that?" "I'm going to have your beautiful wife," Mr. Carvalho stated flatly. "She's going to love it, and you're going to watch." "Hold that thought," Rodrigo said calmly. "I'll be right back." He walked into the kitchen. "I'm just going to give Mr. Carvalho a little tour of the house," he told Anna. "We'll be back in a few." Anna gave him a knowing look. "Don't be too long, darling," she said. "Dinner will be ready in 15 or 20 minutes. "Perfect," Rodrigo replied. He returned to the living room. "I hope you didn't tell your wife what I said," Mr. Carvalho remarked. Rodrigo shook his head. "No, no. Let's go to my office." "All right," Mr. Carvalho said, following Rodrigo down the hall to his man cave. He glanced around at the walls, taking in the photos, medals, weapons, knives, and a few swords on display. "So, you intend to have relations with my wife, is that it?" Rodrigo asked. Mr. Carvalho nodded. Yes, that's it, he said, smiling. Do you have a problem with that? I take it my wife never told you about me, Rodrigo said. She mentioned you're an accountant and do some investigative work for a special operations group, Mr. Carvalho replied. I am a certified public accountant, and I do work with federal and private operations, but I wasn't always an accountant. Is that so? Mr. Carvalho said, his smile faltering slightly. Rodrigo gestured to the objects on the wall. Did you know I served in the military? I was a recon sniper. Most of my 150 confirmed kills were from between 300 and 600 meters, but I've made shots from as far as a kilometer. At that distance, you don't even hear the shot. 1 second you're alive, the next you're not. Rodrigo opened a drawer, revealing a collection of gleaming knives. Mr. Carvalho's discomfort grew as Rodrigo picked up a large combat knife. I also enjoy up close and personal work, he said, admiring the blade. There's nothing quite like watching the light go out of your enemy's eyes as they take their last breath. Mr. Carvalho's face had gone pale, his confident smirk completely gone. Listen, Rodrigo, it's not personal, he stammered. But it is personal, Rodrigo countered. You said you were going to sleep with my wife and that you expected me to watch. That's about as personal as it gets. I just want you to understand the risk you're taking. I'm a firm believer in the old saying, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Rodrigo glanced at his watch. I think dinner should be ready soon. We should probably head back, Mr. Carvalho said, horrified, as Rodrigo expertly threw the knife across the room. It thudded into a thick target on the wall, the blade sinking halfway into the bullseye. I like to keep in practice, Rodrigo said, as Mr. Carvalho turned a waxy shade of white. They returned to the dining room, where Anna had set the table for three, placing the bouquet of roses in the center. As was their custom, Rodrigo sat at the head of the table with Mr. Carvalho to his left and Anna to his right. Rodrigo took Anna's hand, then extended his other hand to their guest. We like to say a prayer before we eat, he said. Mr. Carvalho cautiously took Rodrigo's hand. Anna and Rodrigo bowed their heads and closed their eyes. Unsure of what else to do, Mr. Carvalho mimicked them. Lord, Rodrigo began, we thank you for this meal we are about to receive. We are grateful for the blessings you have bestowed upon our home and our family. May you continue to guide us with your wisdom and grace. Amen. I hope everyone enjoys, Anna said, lifting the lids from the serving dishes to reveal a succulent rustic-style chicken, one of Rodrigo's favorites. I started this early this morning. It's delicious, my love, Rodrigo said after taking a large bite. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Carvalho? Yes, it's delicious. You're a wonderful cook, Anna. Rodrigo noted the nervous way Mr. Carvalho's eyes darted around as he complimented his wife. Don't worry, Mr. Carvalho, Rodrigo said casually. I never hurt anyone at my dinner table. Right, darling? Anna nodded. No, not without a good reason, she said sweetly. It can get messy, and I really hate cleaning blood out of the linen napkins. After all, they're over 100 years old. She smiled. By the way, honey, Rodrigo said, turning to her, Mr. Carvalho told me earlier that he plans on having relations with you, and he wants me to watch. Did you know about that? Really? Anna asked, her eyes wide. No, he never mentioned anything of the sort to me. She looked at their guest. Is that true, Mer Carvalho? You plan on sleeping with me? Please, Anna, I never said that. Perhaps your husband misunderstood me. Mr. Carvalho pleaded. Shaking his head, Rodrigo pulled a small digital recorder from his pocket and pressed play. I'm going to have your beautiful wife. Mr. Carvalho's voice echoed in the quiet room. She's going to love it, and you're going to watch. Mr. Carvalho's face flushed a deep crimson as Anna slowly shook her head in disbelief. How could you? We welcome you into our home. We feed you. We offer you our hospitality. And this is how you repay us? Please, Mr. Carvalho begged. It was just a joke. I was just kidding. You see, darling, Rodrigo said. It was just a joke. I don't get it. Where's the punchline? I'm not laughing. Listen, I didn't mean it, Mr. Carvalho said, holding his hands up in surrender. Is that what you told the husband of your last conquest? Rodrigo asked. What are you talking about? I'm an investigator, Rodrigo said. I ran a background check on you the moment Anna told me your name. According to my findings, you were quietly terminated from Izuma Rises 3 months ago, after your name came up in a civil suit for alienation of affection. The man who sued you was the husband of the woman you were sleeping with. She divorced him after he found you both in a hotel room. Mr. Carvalho stared down at his plate. Is that true? Anna asked. Yes, he answered in a small voice. I've done things I'm not proud of, but that's in the past. It gets better, Rodrigo continued. Mr. Carvalho's ex-wife got so tired of his infidelity that she joined something called the Mutual Matrimonial Assurance Society. Isn't that right, Mr. Carvalho? Yes, it's true, he mumbled. I even saw the video of the punishment she had planned for you, Rodrigo told Anna. Quite cruel. I thought that would have cured you of your bad habits. But it didn't, did it, Mr. Carvalho? He looked up, stunned. How do you know about that? That was supposed to be sealed. Did I mention I'm an investigator? I have access to information you can't even dream of. In fact, it was my team that helped your wife in that matter. Don't you remember? After we made contact, she was given a choice. Either you accept the punishment and stay married, or you get a divorce. She didn't want the public humiliation, so she chose divorce. Rodrigo fixed his gaze on their guest. You really dodged a bullet there. What was the punishment? Anna asked, intrigued. Cruel, Rodrigo said. They were going to tie him down, beat him unconscious, force him to watch his wife with other men and then drink their fluids. She was even going to brand him on his backside and use him as her pony. Not a pleasant image, is it, Mr. Carvalho? Mr. Carvalho winced at the memory. And your team? You saved me from that? Rodrigo nodded. Unfortunately, you didn't learn your lesson, he said. Perhaps we should teach it to him tonight, Anna suggested, a dangerous glint in her eye. Rodrigo nodded slowly. You might be right, my love, he said, looking at Mr. Carvalho, who was now shaking his head vigorously. No, please, don't do this, he begged, his eyes pleading with Anna. Why not? Rodrigo asked. You didn't get the message the first time. Maybe we should teach you that you do not sleep with another man's wife. I still have your ex-wife's number. Maybe we could invite her over to help teach you a lesson. And I have plenty of things that can cause pain, if necessary. He smiled. In fact, I still have that knife-throwing target set up in the basement. What are you talking about? Mr. Carvalho whispered. You know, one of those spinning human outline targets. Sometimes they strap a scantily clad assistant to it, and the knife thrower has to get as close as possible without hitting her. They call it the Wheel of Death. We could strip you down, Mr. Carvalho, strap you to the wheel, and take turns throwing knives near your testicles. Without hitting them, of course, Rodrigo said. Wouldn't that be fun? He turned to his wife. Anna, is a decent knife thrower too, though not quite as good as me. Oh, the spinning target? Anna asked. That would be fun. We could make a bet to see who gets closer. She looked at Mr. Carvalho. Come on, Mr. Carvalho. It'll be a good time. Mr. Carvalho shot up from his chair, his face a mask of terror, his body trembling. No, you're insane. It was a joke, please. Just forget it. He tried to bolt, but Rodrigo was faster, grabbing him and slamming him against the wall. Anna joined them, holding a heavy silver serving fork like a weapon. We're not joking, Rodrigo hissed. Please, Mr. Carvalho sobbed. What do I have to do to make this stop? It's simple, Rodrigo said. From this moment on, you will forget any thought of sleeping with my wife, or any other man's wife. You will conduct yourself professionally at work. There will be no late nights or business trips with Anna unless I am present. You will treat every woman you meet with respect. Is that understood? Mr. Carvalho nodded frantically. Good. Now, is there something you'd like to say to us? I'm sorry, he blubbered. I will never, ever do anything like this again to anyone. Please, forgive me. Rodrigo glanced at Anna. What do you think, my love? Should we forgive him? Anna smiled. We believe in forgiveness. So this time, we will forgive you. Rodrigo released his grip on Mr. Carvalho's throat. So, what's for dessert? I made a delicious cheesecake, Anna said. Would you like a slice? Rodrigo looked at the trembling man. Well, how about it? Some dessert? Thank you, but I have to get home, Mr. Carvalho stammered. Rodrigo followed Anna's gaze down to Mr. Carvalho's trousers and saw the dark, wet stains spreading between his legs. I understand why you need to get home, Rodrigo said with a smirk. Go on, but remember what we said. I will, he yelped, scrambling for the door. They both watched the stain on his pants as he fled. Can you believe he actually pissed himself? Rodrigo asked, closing the door. Disgusting, isn't it? Anna replied. And he thought he was going to have me. Maybe I'll bring him a box of adult diapers tomorrow. Rodrigo laughed. As they heard the screech of tires down the street, he looked at his beautiful, dangerous wife. God, I am so turned on by you right now, Anna purred. She slipped off her dress and hoisted herself onto the dining room table where Mr. Carvalho had just been sitting, pushing his plate aside. She spread her legs wide and unhooked her bra. Take me, right now, she commanded. Rodrigo unbuckled his pants and moved toward her. Can the dishes wait until morning? He asked. Anna nodded. No, she said, a wicked smile on her face. Let's clean up this mess, and then we can have our dessert upstairs. Subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell. It's easy, fast, and helps us produce new content.